The wind howled through the ruined castle as the moon spilled silver light across broken stone. Sir Alaric whispered, "This curse clings to me like chains forged from my sins." His hollow eyes scanned the desolate hall where banners of his past glories decayed into dust. The floor trembled as a hidden door burst open with a violent gust, scattering ash into the air. From the shadows, a whisper echoed, "Redemption demands a price." Alaric's armor, once gleaming, now shimmered faintly with spectral light. His voice cracked, "What fate awaits me now?" The bells of the abandoned chapel tolled in the distance, marking the dawn of his cursed journey. The silence that followed was suffocating, broken only by his breathless vow, "I will face what comes, no matter the darkness." The knight's curse was born of treachery, and the walls remembered his crime. Sir Alaric muttered, "The echoes of my sin still haunt these stones." Whispers slithered through the cracks, voices from the abyss. They hissed, "You cannot escape your fate." Alaric stepped carefully across fractured tiles, stirring dust like memories best left buried. The hall groaned as though alive, mocking him with every creak. A whisper sharpened into clarity, "Redemption is not granted, it is taken." Alaric's voice quivered, "Then I will take it, no matter the cost." Outside, thunder rolled, sealing his vow. In his hands lay the broken blade, once a symbol of honor, now a reminder of treachery. Sir Alaric whispered, "This steel drank the blood of my king." His hand traced glowing cracks along the blade. Memory surged, his liege's last breath, betrayal sealing his fate. He shouted, "I was deceived, yet guilt chains me still." Shadows twisted into shapes of the fallen hollow eyes accusing him. Alaric's knees buckled under the weight of the past. He whispered, "If fire must cleanse my soul, let it burn. Curses leave marks no steel can cut away." Sir Alaric groaned as glowing veins burned beneath his gauntlet. He whispered, "This power devours me." His reflection in shattered glass revealed half-human, half-spectral features. Shadows recoiled as cursed light spread across his chest. He slammed his hand into the wall, stone cracking under unnatural strength. A whisper mocked, "This is the price of betrayal." Alaric shouted, "Then I will endure until redemption is mine." His cursed glow cast a monstrous shadow across the hall. Beyond the veil of shadows, a voice from the past returned. The ghostly form of Prince Edwin appeared, his regal face pale as death. Edwin whispered, "Knight, your path leads to ruin." Alaric gasped, "My liege, forgive me." The prince's broken crown gleamed faintly. He said, "The curse binds us both, but only one may find release." Alaric trembled, "Tell me how." Edwin's voice echoed, "Redemption demands sacrifice." His image shattered into mist. Alaric knelt, whispering, "If sacrifice is required, let it be mine." The cursed knight walked into a ruined chamber where shattered mirrors lay across the floor. Sir Alaric whispered, "These fragments reflect the man I once was." His face glowed faintly, half spectral, half human, flickering with anguish. A broken shard revealed his younger self, eyes filled with honor, now twisted into a ghostly reminder. He groaned, "What have I become?" The silence pressed against him, each reflection whispering betrayal. The broken sword gleamed faintly, mirroring his curse. Alaric's voice quivered, "If redemption lies ahead, I must face the monster staring back." His reflection shattered into 1,000 glowing fragments, falling like glass rain. From the darkness a hooded figure appeared, carrying the weight of centuries in his eyes. Master Kalen said, "The past binds you, knight, but the future demands courage." Alaric raised his broken sword, whispering, "I know not if I deserve guidance." Kalen lowered his hood, revealing gray hair and scars etched into his face. He replied, "Deserve has nothing to do with destiny." The air grew still, their eyes meeting like fate converging. Alaric muttered, "Then teach me, before the curse consumes me." Kalen's voice carried both warning and hope. "I will guide you, but the truth you seek may break you. Guided by the mentor, Alaric entered a forest thick with mist where trees twisted unnaturally. The air smelled of decay, and branches clawed at their armor. Kaelin murmured, "This place remembers death." Alaric whispered, "It feels alive, watching." Faint whispers echoed, calling his name. He gripped his broken sword, his cursed veins glowing faintly through his gauntlet. Shadows slithered along the roots, forming faces of the lost. Kaelin said, "Do not listen, or you will be consumed." Alaric's heart thundered, yet he pressed forward, muttering, "If the path to redemption lies here, I will not falter." In the depths of the forest, they stumbled upon a wounded figure kneeling beside a broken tree. A young squire lifted his head, his face bloodied but his eyes fierce. Elias said, "I will not abandon the fight, even in death's shadow." Alaric knelt, whispering, "Your courage shames me." Kaelin studied the boy and muttered, "Fate binds him to you." Elias grasped Alaric's hand, despite the spectral glow. He said, "If you walk into the abyss, then I will walk beside you." For the first time, Alaric's hollow heart stirred with hope, though the curse burned stronger. Night fell heavier, and the forest grew darker, alive with whispers of the past. Alaric saw visions among the trees, his king falling, his blade dripping with blood. He shouted, "No more ghosts." Elias cried, "What do you see?" Kaelin's voice was grim, "The curse feeds on regret." Shadows twisted into soldiers long dead, marching silently. Alaric's veins glowed as he raised his broken sword, muttering, "I will not run from my sins." The specters closed in, their eyes burning with accusation. Elias grabbed his arm and whispered, "You are not alone." Alaric steadied himself, facing the haunting army. The cursed knight and his companions reached the edge of a forgotten battlefield where blood still stained the ground. The air thickened with dread as a figure emerged in the distance. Lord Malric, once a betrayed ruler, now cloaked in darkness, raised his blackened blade. He said, "The ghost returns, chained by his own folly." Alaric muttered, "Malric, the wound I gave you lives still." Malric's laughter rang hollow, "That wound forged my vengeance." The ground trembled, spectral flames rising around him. Kaelin whispered, "His heart is ash, but his will burns stronger." Alaric gripped his sword, veins glowing as he answered, "Then let his fire test my resolve." Through the chaos, a cloaked figure revealed herself, Lady Seraphine, the forbidden love Alaric once lost. Her eyes glimmered with sorrow, her silver hair flowing in the storm winds. She said, "Alaric, you were never meant to walk this path alone." His voice trembled, "Seraphine, I thought you lost to death." She stepped closer, her hand glowing faintly with healing light, yet hesitation shadowed her face. Kaelin muttered, "Her presence binds your soul as much as your curse." Seraphine whispered, "I am torn between duty to my blood and love for you." Alaric's hollow voice broke, "Then walk with me, even if the world denies us." As their small fellowship gathered strength, one among them cloaked his true intent. Darius, a knight sworn to aid them, smiled faintly, while his eyes betrayed ambition. He said, "Together we shall strike down Malric." Yet his hand clutched a dagger hidden in his cloak. Elias whispered to Alaric, "Something about him chills me." Alaric replied, "Trust binds us, though trust may bleed." Kaelin's eyes narrowed, but he said nothing. Darius' voice softened, "The time will come when choices must be made." His gaze lingered too long on Seraphine, and the storm seemed to answer his silent deceit. Thunder rolled as a distant bell tolled once more, its sound twisting the air with dread. Alaric whispered, "The same bell that marked my curse." The bell's sound carried visions, ghostly soldiers marching from shadows. Seraphine gasped, "It calls the dead." Elias raised his sword, fear flickering in his young eyes. Kaelin muttered, "This is no omen. It is a summons." Malric's laughter echoed faintly across the storm, promising ruin. Alaric gritted his teeth. "If the dead march with him, then the cursed shall stand against them." The tolling grew louder, shaking the ground as spectral warriors emerged. The fellowship pressed onward until the ruined castle rose before them, its towers shattered, its gates burning with spectral fire. Alaric said, "This was once my fortress, now a tomb of shame." Seraphine whispered, "Its walls still bleed with betrayal." Darius muttered, "Within lies power enough to end Malric, or doom us all." Kaelin's staff glowed faintly as he warned, "The deeper you enter, the heavier your curse will grow." Elias clenched his fists, whispering, "We will not turn back now." Alaric stepped forward, his sword trembling, and said, "Then let the past judge us, and may we endure its verdict." The storm howled above as the group gathered in the ruined courtyard of the fallen castle. Master Kaelin's staff glowed faintly, illuminating runes carved into the cracked stones. He whispered, "This ground bears prophecy older than kings." Alaric muttered, "Prophecy binds me as much as my curse." Kaelin lifted his eyes, the storm reflecting in them, and said, "The cursed knight will face the betrayed ruler. One will fall, the other will endure. But redemption demands sacrifice." Elias trembled. "Does that mean you must die, Alaric?" Seraphine's voice broke. "Or me?" Alaric gripped his sword tighter, whispering, "Then let fate come for me, not for those I love." Later, as the others rested, Alaric wandered into the shattered throne room where his sins lingered. He whispered, "This was my hall, my crown, my curse." His reflection shimmered in the broken throne, showing both knight and ghost. He muttered, "I betrayed my king, I destroyed my name, and yet they follow me still." The cursed glow flared in his veins, and he dropped to his knees. He groaned, "I fear I will doom them all." Seraphine appeared silently behind him, placing her hand on his shoulder. She whispered, "Even cursed, you are worth following." His eyes filled with sorrow and fragile hope. The group descended into the castle's dungeon, where chains rattled though no prisoner remained. Elias whispered, "Why does this place feel alive?" Kaelin muttered, "Because the past was never buried here." Alaric's cursed veins glowed brighter as he touched the walls, visions flooding him. He saw the night of betrayal, his hand striking his king, Malric's scream of fury, and Seraphine weeping. He cried out, "No! Enough!" Elias rushed to him, but Kaelin pulled the boy back. Kaelin said, "The dungeon holds truth, and truth cannot be undone." Alaric steadied himself, muttering, "Then I will carry it until it breaks me." At the dungeon's end, Darius stepped forward, his smile twisted with deceit. He said, "You trust too easily, Alaric." Elias gasped, "I knew it." Alaric growled, "Why betray us now?" Darius unsheathed his hidden dagger, its edge glowing with Malric's dark power. He hissed, "Because Malric offers me what you never can, freedom from my chains." Seraphine stepped between them, her eyes filled with betrayal. She said, "You were our brother in arms." Darius sneered, "And now I am your doom." Kaelin raised his staff, whispering, "His soul is lost." Alaric's voice thundered, "Then I will face him, as I faced myself." Steel clashed in the dungeon as Alaric and Darius battled. Sparks flew as cursed veins glowed brighter in Alaric's arms. Darius snarled, "You are nothing but a shade of guilt." Alaric shouted, "Better a shade than a traitor." Seraphine's voice rang, "Stop this madness." Elias cried, "He chose his path." Kaelin's staff pulsed with protective light, shielding them from collapsing stone. Darius lunged with his cursed dagger, but Alaric caught the strike, spectral fire flaring around them. Alaric's voice thundered, "If you stand with Malric, then you fall as his shadow." The dungeon shook as their clash echoed into darkness. As the clash with Darius ended, a dark wind swept through the dungeon, and Lord Malric's voice echoed from the shadows. He said, "Do you think yourself cursed, Alaric? My torment began with you." The walls bled with ghostly images of the past, Malric kneeling in chains, betrayed by the very king Alaric once served. Malric roared, "I was cast aside, branded traitor, while you were his golden knight." Alaric muttered, "I struck him down, but his betrayal cut us both." Seraphine gasped, The king betrayed more than one. Kaelin whispered. The truth is bloodstained, and redemption demands it be faced. The vision expanded, showing the kingdom in flames. Villages burned, and spectral soldiers marched under Malric's banner. Elias cried, "He means to destroy all we fight for." Seraphine whispered, "He wants to bury the kingdom with his grief." Kaelin raised his staff, murmuring, "This is no longer vengeance, it is annihilation." Alaric clenched his sword, his cursed veins burning with fury. He shouted, "Then he shall not have it." The vision shattered into ash, leaving silence broken only by thunder. Yet in that silence, Malric's laughter lingered, promising the war had already begun outside the castle walls. As the group emerged from the dungeon, a radiant figure blocked their path, a guardian spirit bound to the castle's heart. The creature's voice boomed, "Cursed knight, you walked toward doom." Alaric raised his sword, muttering, "Then speak plainly or strike me down." The guardian's form flickered between beast and angel, its eyes filled with sorrow. It said, "The curse consumes not just you but those who stand with you. Break it, or all will fall." Seraphine whispered, "Then tell us how." The guardian replied, "Only sacrifice greater than betrayal can cleanse the wound." Alaric's grip trembled, but he nodded. The guardian's words cut through them, and silence hung heavy. Seraphine stepped forward, her eyes glistening with sorrow. She said, "If sacrifice is demanded, then let it be mine." Alaric's voice broke, "No, I will not lose you again." She cupped his face, whispering, "Your curse chains more than your soul. If I give myself, perhaps it will break." Elias shouted, "There must be another way." Kaelin muttered, "Her heart speaks truth, yet destiny may not demand her blood." Alaric fell to his knees, sobbing, "I cannot bear it." Seraphine kissed his forehead, whispering, "Then bear my memory." Alaric screamed into the storm, his voice shaking the ruined halls. "I will not lose her to my sins." His veins burned like fire as the curse surged, spectral chains wrapping tighter around him. Elias shouted, "Alaric, fight it!" Kaelin raised his staff, his voice commanding, "Master the fire, or it will consume you." Alaric slammed his blade into the stone floor, sparks exploding. He gasped, "If redemption demands blood, then it shall be mine." The storm answered with thunder, and Malric's laughter thundered back. "Then come to me, ghost, and see if your sacrifice saves anything." The storm reached its peak as the knight and his companions stood at the castle gates. Spectral soldiers gathered around them, shadows twisting with rage. Elias raised his blade, whispering, "We cannot win this alone." Seraphine stepped forward, her silver hair glowing as she chanted, summoning hidden forces of light. Kaelin struck his staff upon the ground, murmuring, "The old magic still remembers its oath." From the mist, spectral guardians rose, spirits of knights long dead, their eyes burning with loyalty. Alaric whispered, "Even in death, they answer the call." With allies both living and spectral, the reckoning had begun. The battlefield erupted as Malric's spectral army charged with burning crimson eyes. Alaric roared, "Stand with me!" His broken sword met the blackened steel of the enemy, sparks exploding. Elias cried, "For the kingdom!" Seraphine's light flared, scattering shadows, while Kaelin's staff unleashed bolts of radiant energy. Yet for every spirit felled, more rose from the storm. Malric's voice thundered, "You cannot outfight despair." Alaric answered, "I can endure it." His cursed veins burned brighter, threatening to consume him. Still, his sword cleaved through darkness, his companions beside him, as the clash shook the very earth. The tide of battle shifted when Malric himself appeared, cloaked in fire and shadow. He laughed, "Your mentor cannot shield you now." Kaelin stepped forward, his eyes glowing with final resolve. He said, "My time has passed, but yours has not, Alaric." The old man struck his staff into the ground, forming a barrier of light that held back Malric's fury. Alaric shouted, "Kaelin, no!" The mentor smiled faintly, whispering, "Strength is not in chains or power, it is in choice." The barrier shattered as Kaelin's body dissolved into light, his sacrifice buying the last lesson Alaric needed to hear. Even as Kaelin's light faded, Darius reappeared, his dagger dripping with cursed flame. He hissed, "One master falls, another rises." Elias growled, "You filthy traitor." Darius lunged, striking Alaric's side, the blade burning like poison. Alaric staggered, gasping, "You would kneel to Malric?" Darius sneered, "Better to kneel to strength than to die for weakness." Seraphine's voice broke, "You damn us all." Elias rushed forward, his youthful rage overwhelming his fear. The clash of brotherhood broken, echoed louder than the storm. Alaric steadied himself, clutching the wound, whispering, "Betrayal is always the deepest blade." Alaric fell to one knee, blood and light spilling from his wound. Malric's voice thundered, "Choose, knight. Surrender your curse to me or watch them perish." Seraphine screamed, "Do not yield!" Elias shouted, "We need you, Alaric." The knight closed his eyes, memories flooding him. His betrayal, his curse, Kaelin's sacrifice, Seraphine's love, Elias's loyalty. He whispered, "This ends with me." His veins blazed, spectral fire engulfing him as he raised his broken sword high. He said, "I choose to bear the curse to shield them from your darkness." The storm itself trembled as his choice reshaped fate. The storm split the sky as Alaric faced Malric upon the burning battlefield. Crimson fire clashed with spectral blue, casting monstrous shadows. Malric roared, "You cannot redeem what is already damned." Alaric answered, "Then let my damnation shield them." Sparks erupted as their blades met, shaking the earth beneath them. Elias shouted, "Strike him down, Alaric." Seraphine cried, "Do not let him take your soul." Each clash drained Alaric, his curse consuming him, yet his resolve grew fiercer. Malric's voice broke into rage, "If I fall, then all shall burn with me." Alaric roared, "Not while I still stand." As their blades locked, Malric sneered, "You hide behind shadows, ghost. Do you even remember who you are?" Alaric staggered, memories piercing his soul. He whispered, "I was Alaric, knight of the king, but I became his murderer." The battlefield fell silent as the truth echoed, chains of his curse rattling louder. Seraphine shouted, "You are more than your sin." Elias cried, "You are our hope." Alaric lifted his head, his voice steady, "I am Alaric, knight of redemption." His name flared like lightning, and the spectral chains around him shattered. Malric snarled, "A name cannot unmake your crime." Alaric roared, "But it can redefine it." Malric's fury ignited, his blade burning with crimson fire as he charged. Alaric met him, their clash erupting like thunder. He shouted, "This ends now." With one final strike, Alaric's broken sword pierced through Malric's blackened armor. A scream of rage and sorrow erupted as Malric dissolved into ashes, his army vanishing with him. The storm grew silent, and spectral chains fell lifeless around Alaric. He gasped, "It is done." Seraphine rushed to him, tears on her face, whispering, "You broke it." Elias cheered, "The curse is ended." Yet Alaric's glow dimmed, his strength fading as he fell to one knee. The battlefield fell quiet, the storm clouds parting to reveal dawn. Alaric knelt upon the shattered stones, his armor cracked, his glow fading. He whispered, "The curse is gone, but so am I." Seraphine cradled him, whispering, "You are free, my love." Elias knelt beside them, tears streaking his face. He said, "You gave everything for us." Alaric smiled faintly, murmuring, "Then let my soul rest." His body shimmered, fading into light that drifted skyward. Seraphine wept, "I will carry your memory, always." The light rose like dawn's first warmth, casting peace upon the ruined land. As Alaric's spirit ascended, a final whisper lingered on the wind. His voice said, "Redemption was never mine alone, it was yours as well." Seraphine lifted her eyes to the sky, her tears reflecting sunlight. Elias whispered, "He will never be forgotten." The dawn spread warmth across the kingdom, fields glowing as if reborn. Kaelin's voice seemed to echo faintly, "The curse is broken, but the memory shall guide the living." Seraphine placed her hand upon her heart, whispering, "Rest now, Alaric." The camera pulled skyward, following the drifting light, until it vanished into the horizon. Silence became eternal peace.